Oh, what's up, guys? Got Dave here, and I'm going to show you how to repair threads. What I am working on today is the Duke 690 here. I was changing the oil and filter, and a long time ago, this thing has two filters. It has a long filter on this side, and then on the opposite side of the engine, it's got a short filter. They look like that. Long filter on this side, and then short filter goes on the other side. And a long time ago, I was replacing the short filter, and when I tightened that cap back on with these two screws here, this cap, it stripped one of the screws out. And they're just these little tiny screws, really fine thread. Product that I like to use is Time-Sert, as it's like a brand name. It's a helicoil, but they're not like a helicoil. These are what they look like. It's a solid insert rather than a coiled piece of metal. And it comes with the drill. That's step one, is you drill the hole out. And then step two, you use this special little counterbore tool, and you counterbore it so that it recesses down where the insert's going to go. And then you tap it, and then the last tool is the insertion tool. And these things are not cheap, just to let you know. It was probably about $50 for this kit. It was like 40 something. I mean, it was close to $50, and it comes with 5 inserts. So that's basically like $10 per hole. You know, I mean, that's pretty cheap. That's a cheap date. Step one is drill out all the threads, keeping drill square to surface of hole. All right, let's try that. All right, that's it. Step one complete. Step two, counterbore the hole to the full depth permitted by the tool. It like centers itself in the hole. It's got this shaft that it kind of like squares itself up, so it's the right angle and everything. Nice. I'm just making little cuts at a time. The trick with doing these is to make sure that you go all the way as far as it'll go, because otherwise it won't sit down in there how it should. Now step 3 is tap. That looks like a tap, and I'm going to compare it to the insertion tool just to make sure that I have the right tool, because yep, that's the insertion tool. Alright, and here's how I like to tap stuff. Make sure there's no shavings in there. I like to use WD-40. That's what I like to use when I tap aluminum. All right. And I like to do it with the drill, like this. That right there is the best way that I have ever found to do threads. If you want to do threads and make them look like a freaking CNC machine did them, that's how I do it. Is I do it in a drill, and you got to have a variable speed. You got to have one that you can just like, so you can go and just go ever so slightly like all the way up. Like you can't have one that's just floored only. It's too difficult. You'll end up hurting it. WD-40 in the hole. WD-40 on the tap. And then just freaking line it up and hold it real loose in my hands. So it just kind of finds its way. And that's it. It just kind of stops. That way you know you're to the bottom of the hole. And bring it out quick like that. Bring it out fast and quick and don't jerk it to the side. And then I don't know if you can see, but dude, those look perfect. The trick is that you want to use a little bit of oil on this for the insertion of the freaking thingy. You're supposed to oil it because what happens is, see, this thing stops. So what happens is you thread it all the way in until it stops. And how it stops is on the shoulder. And then when you keep going with the insertion tool, when it pushes all the way through, it expands this thing and like rolls the edge out. So it actually locks it in there. And it's you're not going to get it out. I got the oil on the inside of the thing. And then I am going to just use way too much red Loctite on the outside of it, which is the high strength. There's, here in the States, we have red Loctite and blue Loctite. And the difference between the two is blue is like just like the regular strength stuff that's, if you don't want it to come loose but you want to be able to remove it, you use that stuff. And then red is like for the serious stuff, that if you don't want it to ever come loose and you're probably not ever going to take it off, then you use the red. Just threading this thing through, and it should just go all the way through into the hole. Like once it goes all the way through, that's it. It's loose. That means that the insert has been expanded out, and that's it. Just pull it back out and it's done. That oil made it work really good too on the inside of the threads. But the trick is, though, you got to make sure that you don't contaminate your Loctite with the oil. You want to keep those two things separate. Right, a little oil. And put an insert in there. Some freaking red Loctite. Just like completely coat the threads with it. Heck yeah. Alright. And thread that sucker in. Alright. And then use my wrench. That is it. It is inserted. Hell yeah. So that's it. That's how you use the Time-Sert thread repair kit. And I honestly would recommend that that you get the Time-Sert brand kit, because it's the best in my opinion of all the different ones out there. There's a few different brands, a couple different designs, but in my opinion, Time-Sert is the one that really the best. It's a very professional way to go, you know, and it works perfect. Now, I could put my filter back in and finish my oil change. Button this thing up. I will talk to you guys later, and have a great day. Where are my screws? Yeah. Good as new. Better than new. Talk to you guys later. Peace.